Okay, so I'm just gonna pull up a couple because you wouldn't ever say like specific activities, and I'm not gonna go over every single one because if I explain it to you, then hopefully you'll be able to figure some of the other ones out. And it looks like you're doing okay here. You've kind of figured it out. You have the adjectives is something that we learned earlier on. Adjectives have to agree in gender and number with the nouns that they're describing. So like when you get down here, this says vosotras, that's your subject. And if you remember that vosotros means you all, and it can either be a mixed group or it can be a group of males. Vosotras is just female. So it's females who are, let's see, vosotras, porque hace buen tiempo y no trabajáis hoy. So it's good. You've got contento. That's right. They're happy because it's good weather and they don't have to work today. But it's vosotras, which is plural, meaning y'all. Y'all are happy because it's good weather and you don't have to work today. So you need the estar that matches vosotros. So the estar is telling us, when you conjugate a verb, you're telling who the subject is, who it is that's happy. Están goes with ustedes, ellos, ellas. Estáis is what goes with vosotros. So you would need to use estáis, and then your contento needs to match who it is that's feeling content, which is still the vosotras. And since it's multiple people, because vosotras means you all, which is by definition multiple people, multiple females who are happy, you would need to make that contentas. So it would be, and I think this will show it right there, estáis contentas. Then here, Pablo está enamorado con Luisa, no es soltero. What is the directions here? Okay, so complete each sentence with 2 words, the correct present tense of the form of the verb estar, and the appropriate form of the logical adjective from the list. If it's saying he's not single, he possibly could be in love with her, but I don't think that they want you to use them more than in one place, so it must match somewhere else. So a good thing to do is to look up what all these words mean. So aburrido is bored, ocupado is busy, triste, sad, contento, happy, cansado, tired, enojado, angry, preocupado, worried, enamorado, in love, casado, married, and enfermo, sick. So if he's not single, it means more than likely, it sounds better to me to say that he's married. So the está is right, but instead of enamorado, you would pick casado, and you're not going to change the spelling of casado because it's describing Pablo. Pablo is a male, so it should be está casado, okay? And if we go down here, Pedro blank de Isabel va a casarse con ella. So they're not married. It's saying that they're going to get married. So this is where it makes sense to me to say that he's in love with her, because he would be, if he wants to marry her, he's probably in love with her. So the está is fine, but you would want enamorado here instead of casado. Here, Pablo y yo blank cuando estudiamos toda la noche. You're doing fine there, but I'm not sure why you're putting estaban. Estaban is the imperfect tense. We don't even learn that until 112. So you need to be picking present tense estar. And then you've got to watch your spelling because this computer does not like for you to misspell. You've got 2 N's here. And if you go back up here, cansado just has 1 N. So this should be, if it's Paco y yo, that's the same thing as we, which should be estamos cansados, which is what you'll see right there. And that's everything for this one. Okay, and one thing I thought I would show you is this too. So when I was talking about like the vosotros and the Pedro y yo, you're using this. So this is ser, but you're doing the estar one, so you don't even need to look at ser. I can take that out. But you have to match, like these guys match up with like, okay, so when you have to conjugate a verb, you change the spelling. So this is a star right here, but you can't use a star like in English when we conjugate a verb and we wanted to say like I am happy. Well, when we do to be, we're changing it to, I think I usually use like run as an example. So for example, with run, if I want to say I run, I just put an I in front of it. If I want to say you run, I put a U in front of it, but I keep using run. In Spanish, you have 2 parts to a verb. You have a stem and you have an ending. This is the stem, and you'll notice when you conjugate the verb out that they keep the stem throughout. You can see that EST, and that lets us know that is am or are is happening. And then there's an ending, and that ending tells us who, like who is doing the running, who's doing the jumping, who's doing the singing, or in this case, who is happy, who is sad, who is in love, who is tired. Okay, so you have to have the ending. So the ending will tell us who is feeling that emotion. And so that's why, like when you had vosotros, you couldn't put están because están goes with ustedes or with ellos, ellas. That's not saying the same thing. You wanted to say that vosotros are feeling that way, so you have to use estáis. So you want to make sure that this spelling matches your subjects. And remember with nosotros, which is we, that if it's like Pedro y yo, that's like Pedro and I is the same thing as we, so you're still using this one. And then just remember with your adjectives, like happy, sad, tired, that those adjectives need to agree with the person who is feeling that emotion. So if it's a girl who's happy, it's going to be contenta. If it's a guy who's happy, it's going to be contento. If it's two girls that are happy, contentas. If it's two guys, contentos. Okay, so hopefully that will help help with this.